Narrator. Hello, fantastic English learners, and welcome back to the English Learning Podcast's beginner series. I'm your narrator, and I'm thrilled you're joining us today. Have you ever wanted to tell someone about the place where you live? What's your city like? Is it big or small? Does it have famous places or quiet parks? Our cities and towns are such important parts of our lives, and talking about them is a wonderful way to share a little about yourself and connect with others. It's a very common and interesting topic in everyday conversations, whether you're meeting someone new or just chatting with friends. That's why today we're focusing on describing your city in English. Learning simple words and phrases to talk about your city will give you a great boost in your conversational skills. You'll learn to describe different aspects of a city, like its size, its atmosphere, and what makes it special. In this episode, you're about to hear a natural and easy-to-follow conversation between two friends, Olivia and Noah. They'll talk about their cities, what kind of places they live in, and describe various aspects like the people, the food, and the favorite spots. They'll use simple English, making it easy for you to understand and start describing your own city. After their conversation, we'll have a short, active practice session to help you use these new words and phrases yourself. Listen closely to their simple English and the useful vocabulary they use. Get ready to expand your vocabulary and practice listening just by tuning in. Let's dive into the conversation. Olivia: Hi Noah. How are you today? It's great to see you. I was just thinking about different places people live. We talk a lot about our jobs and hobbies, but not so much about our cities. So what's your city like, Noah? Where do you live, and what is the general feeling of your city? Noah: Hi Olivia. I'm doing very well, thank you. It's great to see you too. That's a wonderful question. You're right, we haven't talked about our cities much. So I live in a city called Riverton. It's a medium-sized city, not too big like a very large capital city, but not too small either. It has about 500,000 people. I would say the general feeling of Riverton is peaceful and green. We have many parks and trees, and a big river runs through the middle of the city. It's a very calm place to live, not too busy, and the people are generally very friendly. It feels very comfortable and welcoming. I've lived here my whole life, so it really feels like home. What about you, Olivia? What's your city like? Is it big, small, or medium, and what's the atmosphere like where you live? Olivia: Riverton sounds lovely, Noah. Peaceful and green with many parks and a river. That sounds incredibly relaxing. A medium-sized city with friendly people sounds like a very comfortable and welcoming place to live, especially since you've lived there your whole life. It's wonderful when a city truly feels like home. As for me, I live in a very big city called Metroville. It's a very large city with millions of people, perhaps more than 10 million. So it's much bigger than Riverton. The atmosphere of Metroville is busy and exciting. It's always full of life with many cars, buses, and people walking fast. There are tall buildings everywhere, bright lights, and always something new happening. It's a fast-paced city, sometimes a bit noisy, but it's never boring. I moved here for work a few years ago and I love the energy. What kind of famous places or landmarks does Riverton have, Noah? Are there any special buildings or natural spots that people know about? Noah: Wow, Metroville sounds incredibly exciting, Olivia. A very large city with millions of people, tall buildings, bright lights, and always something new happening. That sounds like a place full of energy and possibilities. I can imagine it's very fast-paced and never boring, even if it's a bit noisy. That's a huge contrast to Riverton. Yes, Riverton has a few famous places, though maybe not as big or tall as the ones in Metroville. Our most famous natural landmark is the Emerald River, which runs right through the city. Many people go there for walks, picnics, or to ride bikes along its banks. We also have the old clock tower in the city center. It's a very old building and a historical landmark. It chimes every hour, and its sound is a familiar part of our city's daily rhythm. And then there's Willow Park, which is a very large park with beautiful trees, a big lake, and walking paths. It's famous for its quiet atmosphere and perfect for relaxing. What about Metroville, Olivia? I'm sure your city has many famous places. What are some of the most well-known landmarks or attractions that people visit there? Olivia: The Emerald River, the Old Clock Tower, and Willow Park all sound charming and very peaceful, Noah. It's lovely that your city has such well-known natural and historical landmarks, especially the river for walks and picnics. It creates a very strong sense of place and community. As for Metroville, yes, we have many famous places and they are usually very big and iconic. Our most famous landmark is probably the Central Tower, which is one of the tallest buildings in the country. You can go to the top for an amazing view of the whole city. We also have the Grand Museum of Art, which is one of the largest art museums in the world, with millions of visitors every year. And there's Liberty Square, a very famous public square where big events and festivals often take place. It's always full of people and activity. These places are very popular with tourists, but also with local people who enjoy history, art, or just spending time in a lively place. What about the food scene in Riverton, Noah? Are there many good restaurants or famous local dishes that visitors should try? Noah: wow, Central Tower, Grand Museum of Art, and Liberty Square sound truly impressive, Olivia. The Central Tower must offer a breathtaking view of Metroville, and a museum that's one of the largest in the world is incredible. Liberty Square sounds like the vibrant heart of the city, always buzzing with events. These are definitely major attractions. As for the food scene in Riverton, it's perhaps not as diverse as a huge city like Metroville, but we have some great options and a strong local food culture. We have a good number of family-owned restaurants that serve traditional local dishes. Our most famous local dish is called Riverton Fish Stew, made with fresh fish from the Emerald River and local vegetables. It's very popular and comforting. We also have many cozy cafes where people like to relax and drink coffee. And there are some nice international restaurants too, like Italian or Chinese, but the local food is definitely the highlight. It's a simpler food scene but very authentic and delicious. What about the food scene in Metroville, Olivia? With so many people, I imagine it must be incredibly diverse and exciting. Olivia: Riverton Fish Stew sounds so unique and delicious, Noah. It's wonderful that your city has a signature local dish made with fresh ingredients from the river, and that there are many family-owned restaurants and cozy cafes. It gives your city a very warm and authentic feel. As for Metroville, you're absolutely right. The food scene here is incredibly diverse and exciting. We have restaurants from almost every country in the world, from very fancy, expensive places to small, cheap street food stalls. You can find everything here. We have a famous international food market, where you can try foods from different cultures all in one place. There are many Michelin-starred restaurants, but also a huge variety of trendy cafes, bustling food trucks, and lively street markets that are always full of people. People in Metroville love trying new foods and experiencing different cuisines. It's a food lover's paradise, always something new to discover. What do you like to do for entertainment in Riverton, Noah? Are there cinemas, theaters, or other popular places for fun? Noah: that sounds absolutely amazing, Olivia. Metroville's food scene sounds like a dream come true for food lovers, with restaurants from every country, an international food market, and everything from fancy dining to vibrant street food. It truly sounds like a paradise for trying new things. As for entertainment in Riverton, we have a good variety, but it's definitely more relaxed than Metroville. We have a few cinemas where we can watch new movies, but not huge multi-screen complexes. There's a small community theater where local groups perform plays and musicals a few times a year. We also have a popular bowling alley and a few music venues where local bands play. For many people, entertainment also includes outdoor activities, like going to Willow Park for a picnic, cycling along the river, or visiting the local sports stadium to watch a game. It's a more low-key kind of fun, focusing on community and outdoor activities. What about the transportation in Metroville, Olivia? With so many people, how do you get around the city? Is public transport good, or do most people use cars? Olivia: the entertainment options in Riverton sound very community-focused and pleasant, Noah. Cinemas, a community theater, a bowling alley, and local music venues offer a nice range of choices. And the emphasis on outdoor activities in Willow Park and along the river sounds very healthy and enjoyable. It paints a picture of a very balanced lifestyle. As for transportation in Metroville, it's certainly a big topic. With so many people, our public transport system is very extensive and efficient. We have a very large subway system, we call it the metro, that goes everywhere in the city and it's very fast. We also have a lot of buses that cover almost every street. Most people use public transport to get around because driving a car in Metroville is very difficult due to heavy traffic and very expensive parking. Taxis and ride-sharing services are also popular, but they can be costly. It's a city designed for public transport and walking. What about transportation in Riverton, Noah? Is it easy to get around there or do most people use cars? Noah, your transportation system in Metroville sounds incredibly impressive, Olivia. A very large and efficient subway system and extensive bus routes must make getting around a big city so much easier, especially with heavy traffic. It makes perfect sense that most people rely on public transport and walking. That sounds very convenient and environmentally friendly. As for Riverton, our transportation is quite different. Most people use cars to get around Riverton. Our public transport system has some buses, but it's not as extensive or as frequent as in Metroville. The city is not too big, so driving a car is usually quite easy, and parking is generally not a big problem. Many people also walk or cycle, especially if they live close to their work or school, as the distances are shorter. We don't have a subway system, so it's much more car-dependent than your city, but also easy for walking and cycling in many areas. What about the weather in Metroville, Olivia? Does it have distinct seasons or is it always warm or cold? Olivia, that makes perfect sense for a medium-sized city, Noah. Relying on cars for most travel but also having the option for walking and cycling due to shorter distances sounds very practical. And it's great that parking isn't a huge issue, unlike in my city. As for the weather in Metroville, we definitely have 4 distinct seasons, which I love. In spring, from March to May, it's usually mild and rainy, with temperatures from 10 to 20 degrees Celsius. Everything becomes green and colorful with flowers. Summer, from June to August, is usually hot and sunny, with temperatures often over 30 degrees Celsius. It's perfect for outdoor activities but sometimes too hot. Autumn, or fall, from September to November is cool and beautiful with leaves changing color to red and orange. Temperatures are around 15 to 25 degrees. And winter, from December to February, is cold, and we usually get some snow with temperatures often below 0 degrees Celsius. Each season brings a different feeling to the city. What about the weather in Riverton, Noah? Does your city also have 4 distinct seasons or is it different? Noah, 4 distinct seasons sounds wonderful, Olivia, especially with the beautiful changes in spring and autumn. Hot and sunny summers and cold, snowy winters give your city a lot of variety throughout the year. It sounds like you really experience the full range of weather. As for Riverton, we also have 4 distinct seasons, very similar to Metroville actually. Our spring is mild and fresh, with lovely flowers and a gentle breeze, usually from 10 to 22 degrees Celsius. Our summer is also quite warm and sunny, sometimes reaching up to 30 or 32 degrees, but it's usually not as humid as some very large cities. We often have clear blue skies. Our autumn is perhaps my favorite. The leaves turn golden and red and the air becomes crisp and cool, around 12 to 20 degrees. And our winter is cold and we definitely get snow, sometimes quite a lot. Temperatures often drop below 0 and the river can even freeze. So we also experience a full cycle of weather, which I enjoy. What about the people in Metroville, Olivia? Are they generally friendly or do they seem very busy and in a hurry? Olivia, that's lovely that Riverton also experiences 4 distinct seasons, Noah, and it sounds like your autumn is particularly beautiful with the golden and red leaves. A relatively less humid summer also sounds very pleasant. It's great to hear that your city also gets plenty of snow in winter, creating a full seasonal experience. As for the people in Metroville, that's an interesting question. Because it's such a large and busy city, people are often very busy and in a hurry. They walk fast and they might not stop to chat with strangers very often. So some people might say they are not as friendly in the sense of stopping to talk. However, I think the people in Metroville are friendly in a different way. They are generally very helpful if you ask for directions, and they are usually very tolerant and open-minded because they meet people from all over the world every day. They are polite and respect each other's space. So they might not be super chatty, but they are generally good and helpful. What about the people in Riverton, Noah? You mentioned they are friendly, but what kind of atmosphere do they create? Noah, that's a very thoughtful way to describe the people in Metroville, Olivia. It makes perfect sense that in such a fast-paced city, people are busy and may not stop for long chats. But their helpfulness, tolerance, and open-mindedness sound like wonderful qualities, especially given the diverse population. That's a very positive kind of friendliness. As for the people in Riverton, you're right, I mentioned they are generally very friendly. I would say the atmosphere they create is very community-focused and welcoming. Because it's a medium-sized city, people often know their neighbors and it's common to greet strangers on the street or in shops. People often stop to chat for a few minutes, even if they don't know each other well. There are many local events and festivals where people gather and enjoy time together. So the people make Riverton feel like a big village or a close-knit community. It's very relaxed and there's a strong sense of belonging. It's a place where people help each other out and feel connected. What about the job opportunities in Metroville, Olivia? Since it's such a big city, are there many jobs, especially in different fields? Olivia, that sounds incredibly charming, Noah. A community-focused and welcoming atmosphere where people often know their neighbors and greet strangers sounds like a wonderful place to live. It's lovely that Riverton feels like a big village or a close-knit community, with a strong sense of belonging and people helping each other. That's a very comforting environment. As for job opportunities in Metroville, yes, there are many job opportunities here in almost every field you can imagine. Because it's such a large city, there are jobs in technology, finance, media, healthcare, education, art, and so much more. Many large companies have their main offices here, and there are also many small businesses and startups. This is one of the main reasons many people move to Metroville. It's a place where you can find work in almost any profession, and there are good opportunities for career growth. However, because there are so many people, the competition for jobs can also be very high. So, there are many jobs, but you also need to be very skilled. What about job opportunities in Riverton, Noah? Are there many jobs and what kind of industries are common there? Noah, that makes perfect sense, Olivia. Many job opportunities in various fields with large companies and startups are definitely a huge draw for a city like Metroville, especially for career growth. I can see why many people move there even with high competition. As for Riverton, the job opportunities are a bit different. We have fewer job opportunities compared to a huge city like Metroville, but there are still good jobs available, especially in certain industries. Our main industries are agriculture because of the rich land around the river, light manufacturing, smaller factories that make different products, and tourism because of our parks, river, and quiet atmosphere. We also have jobs in healthcare, education, and local government, of course. It's not a place for very specialized jobs like high-tech software development or international finance. But if you work in our main industries, it's generally easy to find a job. The competition is not as high as in Metroville, which can be a plus. It's a more stable job market, perhaps not as fast-growing but consistent. What is your favorite thing to do in Metroville, Olivia? What activity do you enjoy most in your big, exciting city? Olivia, that's a very clear picture of Riverton's job market, Noah. Agriculture, light manufacturing, and tourism as main industries make perfect sense for a green, peaceful city. It sounds like a stable job market with less competition, which can definitely be appealing. As for my favorite thing to do in Metroville, that's a difficult question because there are so many things. But if I had to choose just one, my favorite thing to do in Metroville is exploring new neighborhoods. Because the city is so huge, every neighborhood has its own unique feeling, different kinds of shops, restaurants, and parks. It's like discovering a new small town inside the big city every time. I love walking around, trying new cafes, looking at the street art, and just watching the different kinds of people. It's a never-ending adventure, and it always makes me feel excited and curious. It's a great way to experience the diversity and constant change of Metroville. What is your favorite thing to do in Riverton, Noah? Is it spending time by the river or in a park or something else that makes you happy there? Noah, exploring new neighborhoods in Metroville sounds like an absolutely fantastic favorite thing to do, Olivia. That's a wonderful way to experience the vastness and diversity of such a large city, finding new small towns within it. Trying new cafes, seeing street art and people watching must be a never-ending and exciting adventure, perfectly capturing the energy you love about Metroville. As for my favorite thing to do in Riverton, it's definitely related to nature. My favorite thing to do in Riverton is spending time by the Emerald River. I love going for long walks or cycling along the riverbanks, especially in the early morning or late afternoon when it's quiet. The river is very peaceful, and watching the water flow, seeing the birds and feeling the fresh air makes me feel very calm and happy. Sometimes I also go fishing there or just sit on a bench and read a book. It's my favorite place to relax, think and connect with nature in the city. It's a very simple pleasure, but it means a lot to me. So, we've talked a lot about our cities, which has been great. Is there anything you dislike about living in Metroville, Olivia? Or is it all perfect for you? Olivia: spending time by the Emerald River sounds incredibly peaceful and restorative, Noah. Long walks, cycling, watching the water and birds. That's a perfect way to relax and connect with nature right in the city. It's clear why it's your favorite spot. A simple pleasure that brings you calm and happiness. As for something I dislike about Metroville, that's a fair question. While I love the energy, one thing I dislike is the crowds and the noise, especially during rush hour on public transport or in very busy areas. Sometimes it can feel a bit overwhelming and it's hard to find a quiet moment. Also, the cost of living is very high here. Everything is expensive from rent to food. So, while I love the excitement, the noise and the high costs can be challenging. What about you, Noah? Is there anything you dislike about living in Riverton, even though it seems so peaceful? Noah: that's very honest, Olivia. I can certainly imagine how the constant crowds and noise in a city as large as Metroville could be overwhelming at times, especially during rush hour. And the high cost of living is definitely a common challenge in big cities. Everything being expensive can be tough. It's good to hear that balance. As for Riverton, while I love its peacefulness, there are a couple of things I sometimes dislike. One is that it can feel a bit too quiet or slow sometimes, especially if you're looking for a lot of late-night activities or very big events. We don't have huge concerts or many very trendy clubs like Metroville. Another thing is that, as I mentioned, the job opportunities are fewer for highly specialized fields. So, for some people, if they want a very specific career path, they might need to move to a bigger city. It's not a perfect place, but the quiet lifestyle and community feeling usually outweigh these small disadvantages for me. It's been really great talking about our cities today. I've learned so much about Metroville and your experiences there. Olivia: that makes a lot of sense, Noah. I can see how the quietness of Riverton, while charming, might sometimes feel a bit too slow if you're looking for more vibrant nightlife or cutting-edge cultural events. And the limited specialized job opportunities are a valid point for those with very specific career goals. It's great that the quiet lifestyle and community feeling are more important to you. This has been a truly fascinating chat about our cities. It's amazing how different they are, yet both offer unique benefits. Noah: yes, it has been, Olivia. I've really enjoyed hearing about Metroville, its incredible energy, diverse food scene, and the excitement of exploring new neighborhoods. It helps me understand why you love living there so much. It's a great topic to connect on. Olivia: it definitely is, Noah. It helps us see the world from different perspectives. Well, it was really nice talking to you about our cities. I should probably get going now. I have a class soon. Noah: of course, Olivia. I understand completely. I hope your class goes well. It was really nice catching up with you and learning so much about your lively city. Have a great rest of your day. Olivia: you too, Noah. Enjoy Riverton's peace and quiet. See you around soon. Noah: see you, Olivia. Practice session. Your turn to speak. Narrator: alright, it's your turn to practice. I'll ask you a question about cities just like Olivia and Noah did. Listen to my question, then say your answer aloud. Try to use the new phrases you heard today. What's your city like? Good. Now, what is your favorite thing to do in your city? Excellent. One more. Do you use public transport there? Narrator: fantastic work. Now just quickly repeat these two important phrases after me. My city is big. It has many parks. Narrator: you're doing great. Keep practicing describing your city in English. Conclusion. Narrator: wow, you've done an incredible job today. You just practiced talking about a very interesting and common topic, describing your city in English. You can now confidently talk about whether your city is big or small, describe its atmosphere, mention famous places, and even talk about what you like or dislike about it. This is a fantastic step in your English journey. Remember to use these new phrases every day. The next time you think about your city, try to describe it in English to yourself or a friend. Every time you practice, you're building real confidence step by wonderful step. Keep learning, keep speaking. Don't miss our next lesson in the beginner series. Goodbye for now.